I'm like, that hair is only for girls. Like, curly hair.
I can't believe you said this to children.
Is for girls. No. And he goes, no. And I go, no, it's not. You're right. But how did that feel? And he goes, I don't like that. And I was like, well, that's exactly how you made my son feel. You can have curly hair. He can have long hair.
This podcast does not necessarily condone confronting children's bullies.
But I do. I do. We're once again here recording another episode of Good Enough because it's Wednesday.
It's Wednesday.
It's Wednesday, and you were smart enough to put us in your ears or in your face. And you know what? We give you a kiss for that.
You can kiss them. I'm going to give one of those French kisses where you don't quite touch.
Oh, my gosh.
Touch the
All right.
mouth.
Well, we never intended to start so erotically, but... we are obviously excited because we have such an incredible guest.
This guest is not only a hilarious comedian, an accomplished actress, she's a great friend.
And I learned about the two of you together because you made an incredible show together.
Oh, right. Another Period. We have such a life beyond that. But yes, Another Period, one of the greats. It was great source material for many other people to copy our idea. And so for that,
many
I'm
people
so
copied.
happy. But please welcome. Oh, let's also say... Well, let's say Riki Lindhome. Hi.
Let's say
Hello. But I wanted
Riki
to give
Lindhome.
the biggest thing she's working on right now, which is all about parenting, is her show called Dead Inside. It is a one-woman show. It has sold out and had rave reviews in Edinburgh.
That's right.
In DC.
And about the journey towards parenthood.
Yep.
Which I'm excited to get into.
Yes.
Your journey is crazy, Riki.
Wild.
But
I tell people Riki's journey and they get chills because it gives people so much hope.
Oh, that's good. That's good. I feel like it both gives people hope and people are like, well, I don't want to do that. Like, it's like, God. Well, but I'm a relentless person for both good and bad, you know.
Well, when it comes to the journey towards parenthood and securing the bag, which is the baby,
yes.
I'm such a strong advocate for never giving up. And by any means necessary. And I've been so excited to sit down and talk to you because I also had the experience of when we were trying to get the second bag, our second child. And yes, I do. I refer to children as bags now. It's something I just started, but I can't let go. But it was such a excruciating trip up and down Fertility Mountain. And I found that in that time of our life, we were living under this umbrella of loss. We desperately wanted to connect. We desperately wanted to, feel connected because we knew that it was so many people's experience. But for, understandable reasons, people don't talk about it. And then for understandable reasons, when we do talk about it, it lives in this very sad well that feels sort of, when it already feels laborious to go through it, and then to like go to the sad well feels sad. So to connect, to know that you are out there creating material that we can connect and cry and laugh with you on is just so important and cool. And I thank you for
so
making
nice.
your show and for coming on this podcast.
Thank you.
And I'm so excited for more people to see it. And hopefully that will be very soon, whether in New York or on a special.
Well,
and I know that's coming.
They're seeing her now.
They're seeing her now.
But I really want people to talk about this stuff more because it was when I was going through it, I didn't really have a lot of people to talk to. And so I've kind of become the person that people talk to. Like everyone's cousin's friend calls me. But I had a friend who the other day, he's having a baby, and him and his wife in like a month. And and we met up and talked about it. And I was like, congrats. He goes, no, you said one thing to me that you need to say to everyone. And I was like, what is it? He goes, you told me that everyone who wants to be a parent will be eventually. It might not be the way you want. It might not be the age you want, the thing, whatever you're thinking.
It might be to a plant.
Right. No. But like, if you want it bad enough, like it will eventually happen. It might not be your first choice method, but once you have it, it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
It does not matter.
Yes.
Like once you have a person looking up at you and they're your child, like it does not matter.
And it almost, once you have that person, it all does click in and make sense in a way where it's like, this was always our story. Like my first child, Wolfie, we made him in an Airbnb in Mexico. A surf instructor was our donor. He came in a cup. Shauna and I had sex. I put it in Shauna and like, boom, baby was made. And so I had this skewed perception.
You had a free baby.
I had a free baby, exactly. I had a DIY free baby. Right. And And I had this perception also of how easy it could be. And then flash forward to the second where it was like my embryo and same donor sperm, and it just took forever. But all that to say about our first son, Wolfie, there's nothing that anyone could say to shake or make me question how totally mine he is in terms of our relationship. I am his parent. I am his baba. And I think that people can really get misguided about the limitations when it comes time to approach having a baby. And the amount of, if you're listening out there and you are someone who has struggled with your embryos and your doctor starts to shift and talk about either adopting an embryo or whatever it is that feels so outside of the box of what you thought things would be, this is just like the first lesson that your baby is teaching you.
Yep. It's that your child is like a fully formed gift. And there is something, I don't even know if I believe in God or whatever, but there is something so meant to be when it's hard to describe. I was like, oh, I could cry. This was always my baby. There he is.
Yes.
You know?
Will you tell us a little bit just so people can understand like I don't want to make you cry too much.
Oh, no.
Up until your
those
marriage.
Those are happy tears. Those
Okay,
are happy
good.
tears.
Okay, good.
It's funny. Once I had him, I stopped crying my infertility tears. They were just like I didn't even go to therapy about it. I was like, oh,
yeah,
great. Now we begin. And it was like, it didn't happen.
Yes.
It's like crying over like how hard auditioning is if you're a series regular. You're like, no, I'm not thinking about that. That's someone else's problem. I'm like, not,
Okay, but let's go back to when you auditioned.
Yes.
So
Yeah, but basically I froze my eggs when I was 34. I froze them 3 times and I thought I was like, I have insurance, I'm doing this right. And then when I was 38, I felt ready to have a baby. I was in a relationship and we got pregnant naturally. And then I had to have a DNC at 13 weeks, which was a bummer, obviously. And then we tried both like naturally and medically for another year. And right before we finally got an embryo and he broke up with me. So that was February 2020. So that was like the first child.
Cool year.
Cool. Yeah, that was awesome. So then it was just like me alone in a pandemic figuring it out. And because of my like obsessive personality, I was doing everything at once. I was implanting my 34-year-old embryos. I was applying for adoption.
Remember you had to get adoption photos?
Yes.
Because it's really hard for like a single white lady to get a kid of another race.
Right.
And I think that you were trying, you had to do a photo shoot.
Well, so the problem was
you were wearing all sorts of different racially themed clothes to get.
No, what you don't realize is that I needed a bunch of photos alone. Yeah. And I don't have any photos alone that aren't on like a red carpet or a headshot. And so that doesn't make me look maternal.
Kind of fabulous.
Right. But it doesn't make me look like most people. I couldn't even have a photo shoot because the world was closed down. Like no one was I was like Clorox wiping a banana. Like no one was coming near me. And so I was like photoshopping out wine. I was like
Photoshop a baby in the Gucci bag.
Yeah, exactly. I was like trying to make it I was trying to make myself seem more maternal. I'd like put my head on a sweatshirt instead of a dress. I did.
I was like photoshopping your head into normcore clothes.
Yes. Well, because no one takes pictures of you like that. Solo pictures.
Yes.
It's so I was like, oh no.
So you were doing everything simultaneously.
Yes. You
you even flew somewhere to adopt.
Yeah, I had a match. I had an adoption match, and
wow.
And then when I got there, everything fell apart. And
how did that?
So when I got there, I found out that the baby's father was missing. And so for that,
this is another state you had to go to.
Yeah, I was in Atlanta, and I would have to stay in Georgia. You can't leave the state, and you have to get a private investigator to track him down in a pandemic. And then you have to go to a judge, and he also would have like a long period of time where he could take the baby back if he found her.
Yes.
It felt...
to be going through like the beginning of parenthood with a fresh baby, but then also have this whole other Nancy Drew track that you're expected to do where it's like, so have you talked to your private investigator? Right. Sure, yeah, the baby's burping, but
yes.
But where are we at with Where's Waldo?
Right. And can you imagine giving Wolfie back?
No, I can't. And that was something that like
sounds
when
awful.
we were also on an adoption track before we met our donor, and everything just sort of happened the way it happened. But we actually showed up to an adoption seminar, and the adoption, like the business had closed down.
Oh.
And there were a bunch of people there that were like on the track. and it was just like they weren't told. So anyways, for whatever reason, it's like, I also think adoption is such an incredible path to take. And if you have the chutzpah and I know some people that do, and they're incredible, and they were meant to be those parents.
Yes.
Then that's such a truly cool way to go in terms of the journey to parenthood. But one journey, which is the one that you took, I think is less spoken about.
No, totally. But what happened? I was on the adoption journey for a while, and I kept getting. I was basically an undesirable candidate because I was, a single woman over 40, and like you don't hear about this stuff.
Yeah.
And so I was kind of getting these like undesirable matches, meaning the ones that people like turned down because they were unsafe or they looked like scams, or the
baby looks like a scam.
Well, there's certain states where you have to pay for all the birth costs, and then the mom can change her mind. So there's a lot of
so painful.
Things get like red flagged because they seem like scams, and those were the ones I was getting, and I was like,
missing father.
Right. I was like, I can't.
You can't commit to that journey.
Right. And so, and then I tried implanting my own embryos, not knowing I had endometriosis. So none of that worked. And then I made a baby in a lab and put it in a surrogate.
Hey, we all made babies in labs here.
Hell yeah.
But wait, you forgot the best part.
What?
That the surrogate was about to give birth and you met your now husband.
Oh yes,
and you're raising the child together.
Yes. So I was on the show Wednesday in Romania. I was there for 7 months in Romania.
Yes, I remember you were in Romania and you had your surrogate was pregnant.
Which was the best because I could not control it or overthink it. We were like 13 hours ahead, and I just had to like control it. But not that anyone has any control at all in this thing, but I probably would have been more paranoid, but I had to just.
It's nice to have something else going on.
Yes. I would be like in Greece for the weekend, and I'm like, got my mind off it.
Yes.
And then.
Which, by the way, just to cut in here with when you're on this journey, because it was 4 years door to door from when we like walked into the first IVF clinic to when we were holding Rowan, our second baby. I think it's so important to, in whatever way you have access to, have moments within the grief to celebrate the fact that you don't yet have a child. You're not yet taking care of another baby. Like Shauna and I had this gig after I miscarried at 3 months and had the DNC. And by the way, going to the DNC, it's like a cattle call talking about auditions for abortions. Yeah. And you're just sitting there hearing the screams of other women.
Oh
it's
my
like
God.
It's truly like was not like a nice. I go to a nice doctor, and this was the place that they send you to, and it's like.
So to be clear, DNC is like a more late stage.
It's an abortion.
It's an abortion.
Because my miscarriage, I didn't have to have that because
it came out naturally.
I guess
you bled it out.
Is that what happened?
Yeah. Sometimes they will expel themselves, and sometimes they won't.
And sometimes it's like, I like,
and if they won't, they become septic.
I can't.
And you have to. No, it's horrifying.
But I was, I from the minute the doctor scanned my belly and said there's no heartbeat, the first thing that I felt so deeply was like, this baby is coming home with me. Like, this baby is not getting flushed down. Like, I am taking this body. This body is real.
Oh,
this body, like, it really was. It really was, because it's like, it's this experience that I think, like, society wants to rush through so fast and forget so fast. But it's like, this is important. This part is important, too.
I remember the 2 days between, God, we're going to cry this whole time, between when I had to have my DNC at 13 weeks, between finding out the pregnancy wasn't viable. And like, I just remember talking to her and being like, I'm so sorry that you didn't get to do this.
Yeah.
Like, I'm so, like, it felt so real.
And now you hold your baby and you're like, you would not be here without that other baby. Wolfie drew a picture the other day. Our baby's name was going to be Phoenix initially, which now looking back, I'm like, maybe not a great name. It's like it really went back down to the ashes.
Yes.
But Wolfie drew.
But you have to joke about it, because otherwise,
our older baby Wolfie, who's 7, drew a picture the other day, and I said, "What is this?" And it said, "Baby Phoenix, only embryo to baby." and it was a picture of an embryo and a picture of a small baby. And he was like, yeah, because that's what Phoenix was. He was only embryo to baby.
Wow.
And it's and it's like, that is sort of, that was the fate of Phoenix, which is so easy for me to say now as I think about Rowan being here.
Right.
But for his kid mind to sort of just be doodling
and
decide to just understand that and encapsulate that in that way was like so profound and sweet. But I've gone on this whole detour just to basically, I guess, say like, me too.
Yeah.
And then also to say that I had this comedy show that I had to tape after the DNC, and I'm like still in the diaper, and I'm like, I can't say no to this show because the show is gonna put like 20 grand in my pocket. I need the money.
Yeah.
I want the money because what I'm visualizing, I'm thinking of myself as like an assassin. Like I'm at the airport, I've got my backpack, I'm there to like execute the jokes, and I'm gonna take the money and I'm gonna take Shauna and I, my wife, to Sicily. And we're gonna have a trip, and that trip is gonna be a trip that we never would have been able to take. Would we have been pregnant? Would we have had this baby? To remind us that life is still full of joy.
Yes.
And we can curate, we've been trying so hard to curate this baby and manifest this baby, but we have to not forget to manifest moments of joy.
Right. Like you can still have a great dinner.
Yes.
You can still have fun. You can still, yeah.
Yeah, like, and like, it just takes so much show running to get a baby off the ground when it's not just going to be that classic story, which is so many people's experience, and not to forget to show run a little bit of excitement and like respite along the way for yourself.
And it is one of the, I guess it's, this whole experience is kind of shrapnel from getting to do whatever you want in life till you're 40.
Yeah.
You know, like we didn't ruin our lives at 23 like a lot of our parents and have a bunch of kids that were kind
Not
of
to
an
say,
afterthought.
if you're a listener that had babies at 23, you didn't ruin your life. Look,
No, but
you know we're paying our penance.
More
You hear
about
us.
it's more about growing up and people I knew, you know, and the kids were kind of an afterthought a lot of times, you know, as opposed to like really trying for so long to create this thing.
Well, speaking of an afterthought, I feel like we don't talk enough in society about not letting it be an afterthought. If you are someone who's going to live your life, have a full career, and really
have the money to help support you have the kid.
Exactly. Like if you are not going to have this classic dynamic of like marrying a man who's probably much older too, if he's got the money to sort of like foot the bill of a family, and you are going to be the classic housewife, which is, I think, most people that I know's story, then like, what are the things that you can do to prepare? You froze your eggs, which I gotta say, I also froze eggs and thawed them and tried to make embryos with them. Freezing your eggs is not the eureka.
No, because everybody
we
has
talk about it being.
Everybody has a different amount of eggs. Because remember, we went together with another friend, and that friend was the exact same age, and they had like 40.
Yes.
And I had like 8.
And I had like 4.
And and then you can also go through perimenopause completely different times, and so it's like it just hormones. It's no sure bet.
Yeah. I think what everyone can do is like, and not everyone's mom will answer, but like investigate your genetics. Like I did not know that infertility ran in my family.
Wow.
My family considered that a private matter. And I was like, wait, what about the 5th time I froze my eggs? Like when did, I didn't find out until 2022 that exactly what had happened in my family. And I'm like,
and they're like, and we wish you'd stop talking about it.
Right, exactly. But it's like, I'm like, why is that a secret? That should be, you know, I knew about my dad's gout. You know, I know like all the medical history of my family, but not that.
Congrats about the gout.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm excited for that future. But like, yeah, you have to like tell your daughters, talk to your aunts, find a woman in your family that will tell you the thing. Cause it's not gossip.
No.
It's not like, it's not like I'm not going to tell anyone about you know, I guess I am now.
But also
the shame around it too is like, I feel like this is, I think I've maybe said this before, but one of the gifts of being gay, the gifts of gab, is that you like very early on realize that the thing that makes you different is not your shame. It's other people's shame that is like, that's targeted at you, but when you realize that like the thing that makes you different, if it is infertility, if it is that you're not, for me, I grew up feeling like, oh, I'm not the right kind of girl. It's like that, all of that just makes your story different, which is not bad. And the more you embrace that different story, you actually become, like for you, Riki, talking about, you know, having a child by surrogacy opens worlds up for people. It actually creates new life.
Yeah. And with sperm donor, egg donor, surrogate, like it's so extreme. It's basically, I think it's the most extreme way to have a child. But that was...
It's the bungee jumping of...
but that's kind of
you're
where I got
such a hard
to.
worker, and at 40 you were able to save up enough money to be able to do this, and obviously not everyone can do that, but it's something to start thinking about because you are someone... I didn't even know I wanted to have a kid, but you would always say, even 10 years ago, you're like, oh, I know I'm going to have a kid. I already know that.
I knew it from always.
It was very clear. But another thing I think we can do, which surprises me that more people don't do this, is just go to a doctor and see what your deal is.
You need to go to, like, spend the $300, the $500, whatever it is. Like, it sounds expensive
to see how many eggs you
what's
have
in there. Spend it because you don't want to. It's nothing.
It starts going down fast.
Yeah, that's one shot
so
later.
Fast.
It's versus like hundreds of thousands of dollars. Spend it.
It's like picture the icebergs when you're watching a documentary about how global warming is ruining the Arctic. That's what's happening behind your pussy walls.
Meanwhile, it's so unfair that like the 20-year-olds are so fertile.
They're so fertile.
They show you on the map.
I want to say one thing because we were talking about money. Another thing that I would urge you to do is if you have a job and you've been working that job for a long time, it is just as much their responsibility to help you with this. And we need to be creating that sort of culture. I think companies that are modern, that understand this whole topic, or even just are pretending to understand, have put into place. There's a company called Carrot Fertility. The WGA has coverage now. That's a new thing. Our baby was born because of that.
I didn't get any help from anything. And
I did a whole first round without it. I did a second round without it, and then we kind of were strapped for cash, and we had this insurance kick in, and it allowed us to make this baby. So so companies are starting to understand that if they are going to capture this fertility window from the talent in their company and they're benefiting from it, they better put a little money into some sort of fertility preservation. So ask your company if they have a plan in place, and if they don't, you could start, especially if you know your value in your company, start having that conversation of like, what do we got to do to make this a possibility? I just love coupons. So
and also men are rotting too, and nobody tells them.
Men are rotting.
But like we go, like our thing falls off a cliff around 35, just average. Because some people longer, but men it's 42. And everyone's like, men can keep, it's like, well, they can, but like, it gets way harder. Like I read the statistic that after 42, if you're trying naturally as a man, it takes an average of 2 years.
Oh, wow.
They don't tell you, like you can't tell men because it's their ego and their masculinity. It's fragile. Like no one wants to tell them.
It is it's like the actual most interesting question. How were we made? And the lack of conversation around it, where it's just like this sort of thing you tiptoe around of like, when are you going to tell your kids about the birds and the bees? It's like, don't tell your kids about the birds and the bees. Tell them about the birds, the bees, the fertility doctor, the snails, the surrogates, it's like, tell them the whole
totally
package.
Everyone thinks advanced maternal age is the big impediment, but it's also paternal age. It's both. And
yes.
like people pretend like it's not.
Also, another important thing to remember is like, I remember my friends telling me this, like, you have to become boring inside to get pregnant. You have to be like, there needs to be like chill, and so that sort of goes against being a working woman. So it's like, we kind of need these,
it's so frustrating to hear though, when you're like, and also for two lesbians to be like, just chill out. It's like, and what? I'm going to lay on my deck and squirrel's going to impregnate me?
That kind of advice like does anger me.
Maybe that's an old wives' tale, but my doctor told me that actually. And that's why the acupuncture really came in handy too, is like, how can you make yourself just this boring, quiet thing? And it's like, you want a woman to be at your company. Women are fucking great workers. We can handle a million things at once. Women are like more employed now than men. And, it's like, how are you going to help us achieve it all?
But I did the whole boring thing. I did the acupuncture. And that's hard for me. And I was like, I like sat
To
home
be
and ate
like
cheese
just
and
up and down Fertility Mountain and being like, I guess it's the chapter where I try to be boring.
where I do nothing. No, I just
So
sat
depressing.
and I was like drinking tea and doing
No.
acupuncture. And I was like, oh, I didn't know I don't have endometrial lining. Like there's nothing I could do about that.
So when you don't have endometrial lining, you can't carry.
So, basically, I'm simplifying it, but it's basically you need the lining to be a good thickness to hold on to the embryo. So you got to have the uterus, the good embryos, and then the good lining. And if you don't have all three in tandem, it's not going to work no matter how much acupuncture. Like I did everything and it just didn't.
Yes.
I love talking.
And I wish there was more Sorry, but I wish there was more. Don't you feel like if this was a male issue,
Of course.
It wouldn't be an
there
issue.
would be like an app that you like scan your womb and they'd be like, yeah, girl, don't even bother.
Yep.
You
No.
know, or
I wish I'd not bothered because I would have saved so much money and time and heartbreak. I would have just like.
I mean, the best advice I got was from my other female friends who had gone through this.
Yep.
And not from
because
the
you also
doctor.
conceived through IVF.
I conceived through IVF.
You had
and
frozen eggs?
I had frozen eggs, and the doctor was like, whatever you want to do. You have one left. And I was like, okay, what's the chances? And she was like, 30%. And I was so stressed because I had already put one in, and it ended up a miscarriage.
And you were show running at the time.
And I was show running our show.
Boring. Snooze fest.
Then I called my friend Janelle, and I knew she had had a baby successfully with IVF. And I was like, I don't know what to do. The doctor's not really telling me. I don't know what, should I put it back up? And she was like, you know what? You've already got your body in this place. Maybe it's ready for another one, like you were pregnant, even if it was just for 20 days. And she was like, maybe just go for it. And I was like, okay. And I did. And it was my child. And I just feel like talking to other people is the only way right now because they actually know a little bit more with their instincts because this is a brand new science, relatively speaking.
The only people I don't like talking about it with are super fertile women.
Yes.
Because they don't know what to say. Like,
Yeah.
I don't mind talking to men about it because they all say the same thing. They go, oh, I'm sorry. And you're like, great, okay. That's
Cool.
They're like,
Yeah.
sorry about that,
Yeah.
But super fertile women who are like, here's the thing. And they start telling you what you're doing wrong.
No.
And I'm like, you got pregnant. They're like, I got pregnant the first time I had sex. And I'm like, great.
No, it's like the talking to the girl who got her arms bit off by a shark with like 19 arms, being like,
Right.
Why'd you go surfing? Yeah. It's like, well, that's
Be like, well, I just moved mine. I might look at mine. Yeah.
Okay, so Riki, we want to know, thank you for sharing that story, by the
Yeah.
way. So what stage of parenting are you at? Because we have 7-year-olds. I know your son's a little younger.
My son's 3.5.
Okay.
He's very bright and precocious, and he's like a little bit like a Big Bang Theory character, but like he's only interested in cars.
bazinga.
Yeah, totally. So he'll know every car. Well, this is our walks that we do. We walk down the street. I lift him up and he looks and he goes key, or he'll go button. He'll want to know, and he'll name the car. He'll be like, "That's a Kia Seltos," and I'm like, "Is that real?" And I'll look. Yeah,
It's a Kia Seltos.
Like he knows the exact.
He's not even a snob.
No, we were on FaceTime the other day, and Riki was like, we were talking to her kid, and she's like, I'm with Natasha, and he's like, is she in the Tesla or the Mini?
Yeah. Like Natasha
Like,
has a Mini Cooper and a Tesla.
He's like, that's so cool that he's zeroed in on something. It makes me think he's going to have a good attention span for things.
Totally. But he's just got one interest. There's nothing else.
And for you as a parent of a 3-year-old, what's the sort of the thing you're toiling with?
I don't actually know. I feel like I think one of the good things about going through like this like 10-year journey to have him is like
Yes.
I realize I have no control. I have I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't know what I'm doing. Like he was like a fully formed thing that I'm trying to like every day is a different day.
And you savor it a little different. Like I know from the
Totally.
first experience of Wolfie and then to like the one that you're like this sort of prize jewel that you realize how fragile the experience of him coming into the world is. Like, have you started, like I feel like with Rowan, he's going to be 2 in February. And I'm just starting to now not in my mind for his intro be like, and he was so hard to make, it's like the legacy of like, and it just was forever.
Right.
and he's like, to like unhook that story.
He's like, I'm here, bitch.
He's like, bitch, I'm here. What are you talking about?
I'm here. Yeah, I think maybe because I do a show about it that I don't
Yes.
really have that intro with him. Like sometimes people.
And I don't either. I just said
Yeah.
that sort of to say like there probably is someone out there that
There's
does that.
probably someone. But it's funny because Natasha's one of the reasons I felt okay about parenting because I had 3 girlfriends and they all had kids the same. That's the best part about having your kid last of your friends, because they all had children and they were very different kids and they're very different moms. And then they were all great kids. And I'm like, oh, you just love them. And then, you know, there's people who have all these philosophies and whatever. And I'm like, I think I just kind of love them and like see what happens.
Yes.
And then you sort of take your child day by day. You know, you take your like assignment.
Yes.
And like that's like my parenting philosophy with Fred is we're both just guessing. We take our best guess. Like neither of us think we know everything. We take our best guess about how to fix a certain problem or whatever. Like he's hitting or whatever he's doing.
Yes.
Like we don't know. Nobody knows.
Does Fred ever have any like really strong opinions about what to do? Because I feel like I deal with that with Moshe, and I'm trying to pick my battles.
No, thank God. Yeah, he's pretty chill. Like I think that's the one advantage of like we started dating 2 weeks before the baby was born.
Yeah, can you talk to me about that too? And I just want to also shout out to like you being someone who manifested your family and let it fill in as you dictated what it was that you knew you wanted all along.
Yes. She's a great showrunner.
Rather than dating like so many women I find in the straight world, it's like dating these goblins hoping they become fathers.
Oh my gosh,
you become the mother and attract the father.
Yes, this
lose
is
the
my
goblins.
What's it called? Put in timeout. This is gonna be my whole.
Okay.
I'm
We put it in
yeah,
timeout.
I'm obsessed with this idea.
But did Fred want to be a parent when you met?
So he was sort of he had the realization that it would be decided for him. He was like, someone's going to tell me where you know, because he could have gone either way.
Yeah.
So and if you can go either way, like the partner decides. And so we started dating 2 weeks before the baby was born. But I thought I was going to be like a single mom with a boyfriend, and then ended up just working out a different way and becoming much more serious. But so it wasn't even. It was crazy timing, but to me, I was kind of like, well, I
deserve it.
Well, no, I was like falling in love with him, and I was like, I don't want to not say anything. I don't want to like take myself out of the running because I have a child on the way. I don't want to like pre-reject myself on his behalf.
Did you have to have a conversation with him where you had to tell him that there's a baby coming in 2 weeks, even though you're not pregnant?
We were all in because we were friends.
I see.
I had told
that
him
makes it easier.
like before I had worked with him right before I left for Romania, and I was like, yeah, I just came from this embryo implant and my surrogate. So he knew the whole. Everyone in Romania knew about it. That's all I talked about, and so he was fully aware. And then he's pretty unflappable. He's just like, okay, cool, you know, and then just kind of.
And it feels like, I feel like I can guess based on your ethos that like navigating this idea of perceiving yourself as a single mother dating versus actually your family is coming together all at once. Was it tricky to navigate that?
It was just slower. It was like, it wasn't until, it was like after we were married, I was like, what do you want him to call you when he talks? Like, and he was like, I want Dada, but I'm leaving it up to you.
Cute.
And so we had to have those kind of conversations.
Did you cry when he said that? Or he was like, that's obvious?
It just felt like, I think I would have been like surprised if he had not said that.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to like force
Fred,
that.
you know.
Yeah.
You could call me Fred.
I'm Fred. Yeah. No, he hadn't even really started talking. He started talking pretty early, so we kind of had to, you know, have the conversation. But yeah, it wasn't, it was kind of ideal. Okay, this is going to sound, so the first year was kind of great because we were both on our best behavior because we just were falling in love. So it was like the first year of dating was also the first year of parenting. And it didn't really feel like a job until like about a year in. It's like same, you know, your first year of a relationship is just like everyone's so nice to each other and their best self all the time. And so it kind of. And
the baby really does add to that joy too.
Yes.
You know, it was, I remember that as the last magical period of my life.
Yeah. But the sad thing was we never got a period of like dating. We never got to like go on trips. We never got to do, we just never got that.
Yeah.
And I sort of mourn that more than he does. I think he felt like, no, but in exchange, we got this sort of blissful first year with the baby. And I was like, right, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe you got to go to Sicily.
Yeah. We need to do something.
Natasha, where are you at with parenting?
Well, my 7-year-old just got her ears pierced.
Ooh.
And it was I'm talking extremely important to my husband that she go to a piercing studio. So we called every piercing studio in town. No one lets 7-year-olds get their ears pierced at these gnarly piercing studios. And finally he finds one. He signs this waiver. We get there. This man's there. And he's just like, no, we don't do this young. And
We don't
then
do this young.
Moshe starts arguing with him. He's like, well, is this AI? What is this email? You said you would do a 7-year-old. And I'm like, at this
Involving
point...
AI immediately. What is this, ChatGPT?
Yeah.
So at that point, I already have my things. And I'm like, let's go. And of course, the thing that he's not understanding is...
Also, like, what an uncomfortable situation to get pierced as a 7-year-old
Of
by
course.
a man that your father has forced to pierce you.
Right, you want it to be untraumatic. You want,
You want
And-
someone to be pumped to
Yes,
pierce you.
yes.
And it's like all black, the studio, and there's like, it's kind of, he's like, well, it's been clinically proven to be safer and less infections if you go to a real piercing studio, because he had ear gauges when he was in middle school. And he's
Gauges
like,
is a no.
I know, but then it's modeling. That's what he's not realizing. When you go to the piercing studio, there's pictures of like, new things she can have in her head now. Oh, I didn't know I could get that part of me pierced. Like, I'm not trying to model like piercing every bit of cartilage to a 7-year-old.
She comes out blasted.
So then we left, and then we found this other place that was really amazing. I mean, there was still a lot of ear gauges involved, but I just realized it was so important to him, and it was like part of his identity that she go not to Claire's boutique. Like, he was obsessed
This
with
was
her
his
not...
inner child being like, I'm cool and I know the cool
Exactly.
shit, and she's going to the cool. You know what?
It was so important to him. It was funny.
Shout out to our soon-to-be paid sponsor, Claire's. Claire's, we have nothing to do with you, but when I went to you in San Diego, you charged me for one person's ear piercing, gave me one, gave my son one, and I appreciate that.
Yep.
Well, I got a second piercing, and we walked out of that piercing studio $900 less. It was $900.
What are you talking about?
It was really
I thought it was like
expensive.
free
How
if
much
you
were
buy
the
an
earrings?
earring.
Well, this earring was expensive. This one was
She's like, well, this is a $900
Yes,
earring.
yes.
Well, you have to understand
but
that this is a...
it was
you know
like-
the jewels that were stolen from the Louvre.
No, it was $120 for her piercing. I think my piercing was $120.
I think I paid $12.
They only had, it was incredibly expensive, and he lost his shit when I told him how much it was. Maybe it was $700. I don't know. But then there was a place for tip, and the
No.
girl was so nice. How much do you tip people in general to get hair done? And you said always 20%. So then 20% of $750, because the woman was so helpful.
No, Natasha.
And then she recognized me, and she made me give her her
Oh.
autograph.
That's when it gets worse.
You
Here's a
can't
hot
not
tip.
tip
If you work in
20%.
service, in LA, just pretend to recognize everyone.
Yep.
It doesn't matter
Your
if it's an
tip will be
actor.
huge.
Just literally just say like, by the way, right before you drop the bill, I like your work.
Yeah. Big
Yeah.
So I'm just saying it doesn't have to be $900. I didn't have to get this $300 dangly earring, but I did
It's
love
beautiful.
it. Thank you. So it was way more expensive than Claire's. But I had, and then he got really pissed off at that. And I'm like, you can't get recognized and have someone coach you and take up 4 appointments and not tip 20%.
Yeah.
Right?
I don't know. I would not. I
What
don't
would you
like-
do in that situation?
If the bill is like $700 and
they
I'm
flip
tipping
it
on
around-
jewelry,
No,
I'm
but
not tipping the maker of the jewels.
I
but
know.
I really am aware that you both are 20%ers on a $700 bill, so I'll say that's who I am too.
Yeah.
That's exactly who I am, and don't look into it.
And that's what it is.
I bet you're wondering what era of parenting I'm in.
Which one is that?
The cool era.
Ooh,
I'm in the-
your son is pretty cool. He's the coolest kid I know.
My oldest, 7.5-year-old is very, very cool. 1.5-year-old, little Chris Farley tribute character, little cutie, and he has started daycare, and that is the era of parenting I'm in, which is just like, it feels like I've received the diploma, It's like I've dropped off the
Ready
kid.
to outsource.
The kid is, yes, the kid, but then he's having so much fun. At daycare, he's saying bye.
He's getting away from any negative aspects of your energy. At least that's what I think. I'm like,
Natasha, why are you worried about my energy?
no, I'm such a helicopter parent that I was happy for her to go to like a nature
That
school.
felt so
with some,
personal. The way you said that, I was like, wow, she's worried about my energy.
No,
Not the collective you.
No, I'm
Yes,
just saying.
your energy.
Yeah.
I'm
A
like,
professional.
What do you
It's
have
nice-
footage? You have home video footage of me at home grumbling?
No, I actually think you have really chill vibes.
Well, that's what I was fishing for, and I'm glad that we got that. Clip it.
Are we ready for a clip?
Oh yeah, let's clip. Yeah, let's clip that. Guys, I think it's time for meme of the week.
Meme of the week.
It keeps you coming back for more every week.
Let's see what we
The
got
meme of the
here.
week. Okay, so for those of you listening, this is a video that says, stop protecting your kids from the world, start preparing them for it.
If somebody says at school, I'm not your best friend, what do you say? It's okay, I have more friends. I don't like you. It's okay, I love myself. That's enough. I don't like what you're wearing. What do you say? It's okay, I like this, but I didn't wear it for you.
Ooh.
Say it, your food smells. Then I will say, ooh, you don't know how your food smells like.
Yeah. So good. I love this.
It reminds me
Practicing-
of what you told me.
Which is? I don't like the smell of your food because it's smelly, Natasha.
No, I've been
bad.
using this. I think Shauna said it, or maybe you said it. Someone was making fun of your son for his DJing, and you say, "Thank you, honey."
Yeah, honey. Having that attitude, like she has this little
Thanks,
girl's
honey.
like just coloring in the video if you were listening and not watching, but it's this vibe of like teaching your kids that like you don't need other people's approval. And it's the thing that we all do anyway when we have confrontation is like having these moments in our mind, but like arming your kid. Like my son Wolfie has long hair. So he's the whole sort of entry point into the school system was a lot of like him going into the boys' bathroom, people bullying him, which is something I know very viscerally. But getting your kids ready to be bullied because kids are rude and blunt. And so there was this one time Wolfie was in tennis camp and I was playing pickleball and he came over to me while I was playing pickleball and he goes, "Baba, it's happening again." And I was like, I knew exactly what it was. It's happened to me my whole life, going into girls' bathrooms, people being like, "Is that a boy or a girl?" And so I walked up to these kids. He said that they were saying he's a girl and not a boy, and he told them he's a boy. And I said, "One of you guys, it sounds like, thinks that my son is my daughter, but he told you he's my son. So which one of you thinks you know my son better than he knows himself?" And they're all like, because it's like the middle of camp, like parents shouldn't be here. and I'm holding a paddle.
No.
And these kids are sort of like, no one's admitting to it. And then finally one of them, this like really cute little Korean boy with like curly permed hair, he goes, "Well, he's got like really long hair, so he looks like a girl." And I was like, "Oh my God." He was like, "What?" And I'm like, "Your hair." And he's like, "What?" And I'm like, "Your hair is so curly." And he was like, what? And I'm like, that hair is only for girls. Like curly hair.
I can't believe you said this to children.
Is for girls. No. And he goes, "No." And I go, "No, it's not. You're right. But how did that feel?" And he goes, "I don't like that." And I was like, "Well, that's exactly how you made my son feel. You can have curly hair. He can have long hair.
This
You say you're
podcast
a
does not
boy."
necessarily condone confronting your children's bullies.
But I do. I do.
I
just
love
think
that you did that.
It's like teaching these kids that I think that kids can oftentimes frame their bullying as like, "I was just curious." And it's like, okay, well, let me show you how that curiosity feels. Wow. And so I've been asked not to go back to that establishment. No, I stand by it, and I wish there was someone doing that for me. And I mean, maybe that's not your flavor, but I do think like that conversation in that video around what would you say if someone said this is like perfect coaching, because your kids are going to run into people that want to make them feel uncomfortable. Riki, my dial's down on me from Riki. I feel you don't like that I did it.
Oh, no. It's not that. It's that I'm going, I wonder what I'm going to say to Keith. He's not at that age yet. It's just like preschool. And he's not like perceptive enough yet. You know, they all kind of have their eyes on their own paper. They're too little. So you're
going to have to bully your kids' friends
No,
at some point.
I
I'm kidding.
honestly think
I
you
was
did
just
it.
wondering what I would do because I haven't confronted that yet, but at some point.
This is why I'm scared, because if I unleash, I'll be like, "Oh, you think my son's
That's the vibe.
girl?
Yeah.
Well, fuck you, you little shit. Where's your mom?"
That was my exact vibe. I just didn't say the words, but that was my vibe.
You were able to do it.
The boy-girl thing, it's like, again, it's like, here's my little child rising up and having a conversation that I wish I had as a kid. And I just don't think, like, the downside Is it appropriate what I did? I don't know. Could you judge me? Maybe.
Who knows?
Put it in the comment section.
Nobody knows
follow
anything.
and subscribe. Weigh in with your thoughts below.
Like, follow, subscribe, and cancel us.
Cancel
if you want
Go
to.
ahead. Simply cancel us. But I
It
just
doesn't
think,
work anymore anyway. Cancel us. Go ahead.
Yeah, it doesn't work.
It doesn't take.
You know how many people have tried to cancel the three of us? Thousands. Okay. Biology tried to cancel our ability to be parents, and look at us on this parenting podcast. But I just think that making a child understand the way they're making other people feel is important. And that kid shaved his head.
Poor kid.
No, he didn't shave his head. But the conversation around, is it a boy or is it a girl, just needs to be one beat. And once it goes past one beat, it's no longer, and I think a lot of parents get confused too, but truly take it from me and put yourself in the scenario. It's no longer curiosity. What it is the question they're asking is, why don't you look the way I think you should look? And I feel my style of parenting and the kind of kids I want to create are kids that are understanding and thrive because they know that they can be how they want to be.
God, also, I'm just thinking, like, in the future, like, everyone's going to have to bully-proof their kids because they're eventually going to be on the internet.
Yeah.
And so they're going to get comments from strangers and things like that. Like, we're going to all have to do that.
Yeah, but what I love about that video is, like, it doesn't seem like preparing your kid for that is this, like, terrible thing.
No.
It's like the things that mom is saying to the daughter is like, it's like it becomes a fun game, and then they are armed to be like, yeah, my food smells different because it's delicious.
And she's like, okay, well, I like it. I didn't wear this for you. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh.
I'm actually thinking of rewatching that and writing it down and
Well,
drilling
why
that
don't
script.
we play this game right now? You say things, let's say things to each other and then retort. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. Why does your hair look like that?
Because I wanted to look like that.
Yes. Okay, go. You
Did I do it good?
Yeah, you did it really good.
Why aren't you wearing socks?
Fuck you, bitch. I don't fucking want to. You fucking bitch. Maybe your feet need to be covered, but mine are gorgeous.
You go like way too hard on me. Let's not. Ricky's too innocent for this.
But I think she'd be good at
I can do it.
Okay.
Why are you wearing a collar on your dress?
Because I dress for me, not you.
Yes!
I know. A lot of this is like, we all want this.
Yes.
No, we
We all,
do.
like, wish we had that.
My whole life, my mom we'd go to the mall and she would mourn and she goes, why can't you dress like the other girls?
Oh my God.
Like, she really wanted me to like not
You're also
stray.
so femme. What did she want from you?
I think she didn't want me to wear all black or like want to wear slutty clothes or I don't know. Like, I was kind of goth and like, I was like a goth
the way
slut.
my mom would have treasured whatever you were wearing. The way my mom would have been like, oh, finally.
I remember
A
she'd
black
be like,
dress.
cover up your butt. Like, it was just like,
Natasha walking through the mall in assless chaps.
like she didn't want, it started to grow, you know, and she was just kind of like, oh, we don't want anyone to see that. But yeah.
I wish I had more coaching on how to deal with bullies because I just didn't. I would just,
Were you bullied?
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
who
I just
wasn't?
don't know. I know. I was going to say,
I don't know
who,
why I was playing a
wasn't?
character when I was like, oh.
No, I was
that
more bullied by parents.
Ricky
So-
has a crazy situation where
Yeah,
she was bullied by one of her friend's moms.
Okay, can you tell me about it?
Right. I can tell. Well, it's a long story. But
I don't like this mom.
I was more bullied by parents than other kids, and then I would be bullied by other kids because of their parents, and so it was.
Was it
more,
because you were sparring with the parents because you were advanced?
She lived
or
in an
what- how did-
extremely small town, and she was kind of like very promising.
So the parents were like, oh, you
promising
think...
in a small town. Yeah, like, yeah.
I mean, that's not why you were
No, but
promising,
but it was that.
it activated a lot of these people who were like, why ain't my daughter like that?
Yeah.
Perfect impression.
Yes.
Clip it.
Yes.
Clip it.
My very essence angered people.
Wow.
Yeah.
I remember walking in once to the girls' bathroom at Catholic school, and all the girls were like, I'm Natasha. Look at my skirt. I'm so cute. And they were all like doing this like impression of me. And I remember walking
God.
in and being like, ugh.
I remember
was
once
really-
See, if your
getting.
mom had practiced with you, you'd be like, SNL called, you're all rejected, losers.
I remember one time. The one time I remember getting, I guess, bullied was it was like a planned assault where all morning everyone was nice to me, all my friends. And then we went
Whoa.
and sat, so we sat down at lunch and they all got up and moved to another table. And I was like, oh, we're moving. And then they're like, we're moving because of you. They decided to stop liking me at lunch.
Oh my God.
And so I had a full morning of like everyone pretend, and I was like, ooh.
That's
So-
rough.
You know what this is reminding me of is just like the thing to actually instill in our kids is that like friends can come and go,
Yes.
but you should always tell me if there's a curly haired kid picking on you,
Yeah.
because I'll be here forever.
Are we ready for our rants?
Oh my God, we haven't done our rants
Yeah.
yet? Okay, it's one of our favorite times. It's what do you put in timeout time? The fans love it.
They can't get enough.
They can't get enough, and so we keep doing it. Who's going first?
Let's have Riki go. She's ready.
Ricky, you go,
Okay,
you go
all
first.
right.
We're putting 1 minute on the clock.
Oh, it's only 1 minute.
It's
Okay.
only 1 minute.
I'm gonna try. Okay.
Ready,
so
and go.
What I'm putting in timeout is the idea that having a child with any partner is better than having a child alone. It's not. Because it's like, yes, it's ideal having a child with a great partner. The next thing is doing it alone. Third thing is a bad partner. Because if you have a bad partner, you do all the work of a single mom and make all the compromises of someone in a relationship. So it's the worst of all worlds. And then also no one's like moved to help you because they think you have a partner. So it is just, and I know some people, it's not an option, like either financially, culturally, whatever. But if it is an option for you, don't like hunt for any guy before you turn 39. Have it alone. And it also doesn't mean you won't find love. Like I did. Being a mom doesn't make you unworthy of love. It's, maybe some guys don't want that, but who cares? Fuck them. So yeah, I guess that's my rant.
Hell yeah.
That was a good
perfect.
one.
Perfectly timed.
Oh,
and
perfect.
also, what I want to say on that is consider freezing embryos. If it seems as though your partner is not in the mix and you are in your 30s and you are thinking having a baby is on the horizon, if you do 2 batches, have your eggs, but also the embryos hold a lot better. So
Yeah.
you should consider doing that.
I tested a bunch of my embryos, and then I had eggs, and I tested them all. I had 8, and then only 2 survived.
Also, don't go to a clinic in Mexico called. Just don't go to the one in Puerto Vallarta.
All right, I'm sorry you had that bad experience.
Look, if I didn't have that experience, I wouldn't have had that comment to say on this podcast.
Dude.
Well worth it.
Not only that, when I froze my eggs and they wanted to be turned into embryos, I had already moved on to another doctor. Read my book, The World Deserves My Children, if you'd like to hear more about the doctor who told me I needed to pick a doctor while his fingers were inside of me.
Oh
so
my
I got
God.
a new doctor, and then when they transferred the eggs, there's like different freezing protocol at
Yep.
different places. So I lost some on the transfer to get away from the creepy doctor. So anyway,
Look, feel free to go to our Instagram.
that's not even my rant.
Feel free to go to our Instagram with any of your questions on this, because I feel like we are a wealth of knowledge, and our Instagram handle is good enough PCast. Click on there and you can ask a question, but we're not done our rants.
Okay,
Ready?
you're gonna go?
I'm going to go? Okay, I'll go.
Okay.
Ready? And you got to say, who do I put in timeout?
Sabrina, who do you put in timeout?
Ooh, I put in timeout those fucking sick families that are all sleeping on one mattress on Instagram and talking about it. They're wheeling in that mattress in that big room. They're making a whole sort of like a trampoline park type bedroom, and they all sleep on the mattress, and then they're to camera talk. For thousands of years, families have been sleeping this way. You know what else has been happening for thousands of years? Molestation, okay? A lot of weird things happen with all the people sleeping in the same bed. And I'm not saying you think that's going to happen with your kids, but guess what has happened between 1,000 years and now? This idea of being able to self-soothe, this idea of being able to feel secure and safe in your body. It kind of connects to what we were talking about with bullying, that you yourself are actually enough all as a whole little being. And to get your kid to sleep in their bed as a whole little being is a bigger prize than having a little theme park in your sick little twisted little room. And guess what? If you do it and you love it, you keep it to yourself, because putting it on the web and spreading it out like it's some sort of feature and not a bug of your family is criminal. You're a criminal. Go straight to jail. And guess what you'll have in jail? A tiny little mattress to sleep on by yourself. That's what I put in timeout.
Yes.
That was intense.
Yeah, I have strong opinions. And I needed this podcast to put them out there.
Okay, well, I too have strong opinions.
Okay, well, who do you put in timeout? Natasha Leggero.
I put in timeout those Lego adults. Disney adults, Lego adults, what are you doing? Like, I went to Target to try to get a last minute birthday present for an 8-year-old. She said, get her Legos 8 to 10. There weren't any Legos. Everything was 18 and over. I accidentally bought this thing. I was like, oh, little flowers. This will be cute. I bring it home. It says 18 plus.
What?
Little do I know, this is a whole genre of people who are just adults, 18 and over. Not even a 12-year-old could do this Lego.
Fuck you.
Not even a 17-year-old?
Not even a 17-year-old, 18 and over. And now I'm learning this is a whole thing that people do. Get a real hobby.
Build a house. Get some real bricks. Oh, but can I tell you something?
What?
The 18 plus is actually, I think, there to make your 7-year-old feel good when they finish it. Because they're like, whoa, I should be able to vote.
It was very intimidating to me. And then, that's what I thought. So then I was like, well, maybe this 8-year-old could be really good at Legos. Maybe I still don't have to go back to Target to return this. And I looked up on message boards, and message boards were all these Lego adults like commiserating how much they love putting Legos together. And couples, it's not just a single person thing. It's like couples activity of the evening is Legos.
They build the Lego, then they fuck on the Lego. They're twisted. They're sick and twisted. Yeah, it's painful. It's BDSM.
Yes.
Okay, those were incredible.
That's very funny.
We did it.
Who do you hate more, Natasha's person or my person?
What do you mean your person?
The Lego person.
Oh, wait, what?
I'm interested to know, who would you rather go on vacation with?
She wants to know if you're into
A
co-sleeping.
Lego adult or a mattress, all-in-one mattress?
A Lego adult for sure.
You'd rather?
Yes.
God
I have so many sleeping problems. I'd rather be with someone doing Legos in the corner than have to share a bed with a family.
Okay, so you despise mine the most.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yours
Okay,
is, yeah.
good.
No, I would much rather have some friend who did Legos than who's like, we're going to sleep in a big bed together.
Yes.
I'd be
Well,
like, no, thanks.
Riki, you're so smart
Yes,
because
good.
you're one of my friends, and I know there's a lot of people out there who have sleeping problems and who have like gone on deep dives to the point where you know that you need to watch, is it Law and Order?
Yeah.
For like many hours.
Yes.
Starting at bedtime.
Yeah, I wind down.
Like, I've shared hotel rooms with Riki, and she literally is like, good night. And then she puts her iPad sideways and just starts watching Law and Order.
And I read the captions.
And then I wake up at 3 a.m. and I remember I put it away, and then I woke up at 5 a.m. It was back out.
Oh, wow.
How did that happen?
Because I don't sleep through the night. I've got real
I love the moment you woke up, you're like, crazy bitch.
I was like, wait.
Well, I could hear it a little bit because we were sharing a room.
Right.
But then you said you don't even let your kid know.
He's not going to even. I don't want him anywhere. I'm such a freak about sleeping because I don't want him to have my problems.
Yeah.
So he's nowhere near our bed. He'll never
Good.
be in our bed because I
Good.
don't.
That's
want
so
him
smart.
I just don't want him to even subconsciously, because my mom has sleeping problems. Me and my brother have sleeping problems. I don't want him to even think this is anywhere near normal. Like
Yeah.
anything that's going on with me, do not do it.
You watching Law and Order at night is like him seeing you like shooting up.
Totally.
You're like, don't absorb this.
Because you're having sleeping problems, your whole life is way worse.
Wow.
And I want him to have a better existence than I do.
In your sleeping problems journey, watching something with subtitles has
Yeah.
been a salve. Any other salves?
I mean, I just like didn't sleep my whole 20s. And then once I figured out this, because I was doing all the things, it was like, don't watch TV, so I was doing all the things I was supposed to do. And I was just always awake. And then once I started this like Law and Order reading the captions, I started sleeping.
Did you come up with that on your own?
My friend told me. She was like, oh, I have an idea. She's like, this is what my friend does. And
Your friend works for Law and Order.
And it has to be something you find boring, something you've seen before, something non-stimulating.
Yeah, something like certain crime shows have they have too many like CSI Miami, for instance. I can't do that one because the theme song is louder than the show and it wakes me up.
Yeah,
it
I
has
hate
to
that.
be Law and Order's got the sound dialed in like dun dun dun
Yeah.
dun dun,
I
dun so I can
see.
sleep through it, and it's very just like, hey, have you seen Bob? He's in. Yeah, I was working at the bar last night. It's just I'm like, but,
I remember
Bob at
you
the
watched
bar.
all seasons of Murder, She Wrote.
yep. I'm back on Murder, She Wrote right now.
Interesting.
I've watched all of Bones twice.
Does it affect the things you think about in a day?
No.
Not at all.
Well,
okay.
Riki made a great point too. She said she's been to so many sleep specialists, and the only thing that anyone ever recognizes is sleep apnea.
Yeah.
And there's so many people out there who have other sleep issues. So
Yeah, I'm like, why don't we? Okay, so I don't have apnea. Any other thoughts? And they're like, yeah, no screens and no. I'm like, I tried that.
Well, have you tried being boring?
Yes. They're like, no caffeine and no, yeah.
It's really boring thoughts. Okay, we have a question.
Oh, okay.
We have a question from a listener,
Oh,
which means we got a listener.
Yay!
If you have a question, please go to our Instagram, which is goodenoughpcast. And yeah, click on the link. And,
You just like saying PCast.
Look, I've said it before and I'll say it again. Good enough PPcast. Don't put an extra P. I just did that for fun. This question comes from Loren.
Okay, here's my question. All right, when your toddler is in full meltdown mode in public, I'm talking grocery store floor, screaming, red face, fume out of the ears. What's the best way to respond in the moment without giving in and without completely losing your shit? Like, is it ever okay to just walk away and pretend that the toddler on the floor isn't yours for just a minute?
I think great idea.
Yeah. God,
Honestly.
I don't know. The times that I've given in when he's really like that, because my son doesn't do the full-on fits that often, and when he does and it's in public, I feel humiliated, and I sort of just like do whatever to make him like, I'm like, we have Cheetos at home, like I'll do anything to like bribe him out of that state.
I'll give you money. I'll give you cars.
There's
I'll give
nothing
not
worse than like a gentle parent lady, like kneeling down at the child's level in the cereal aisle, just speaking to them very like quietly while the child's having a meltdown. I want to strangle that woman. Yeah. I really do. I mean, I'm kind of on Ricky's side. Like, here, let's get you some Cheetos. But it does depend. 7-year-olds don't really have that.
I'm already sort of grooming my 1.5-year-old of like, I'll leave. Like, this is all moving, so you get it moving, and I'll find little hiding spots to like see if it's working. Sometimes it's not working, but like, I think if I keep on doing it, he'll realize like, I need that big brown lady to take me places. Yes. She's got the big black car, and then that takes me to the bananas.
Yes.
Which really is the crux of that's the parenting era I'm in, is bananas. Yeah. If I have bananas. But I do think that, I get it. It's like an emergency situation. No one, especially like on a plane or whatever, where it's like everyone is trapped with the energy. It's like, whatever, by any means necessary, let's get out of this situation.
I just want to like exit.
You know what I also think I've been thinking about is the idea of, is it called seeding when you like give up? Seeding?
Oh, yeah.
Seceding.
Seceding.
No, seceding is pulling away. Seeding is like you.
I think it's actually pea-seeding.
Yeah, it's pea-seeding.
What? Yeah. How is there a word I've never heard? I mean,
I was trying to put P on it again.
Like seed, like CEDE, you seed control.
I see.
Yeah,
okay.
so seeding control, but making it seem like that was your plan is kind of good.
Ooh.
I'm
so not that ninja-like.
So it's like the kid's having a meltdown, and you're like, whatever it is that you weren't going to give them, that you're getting them whatever, the car or whatever. This is not a perfect example because I do like being sort of a stricter parent. I told you, I'll leave. I'll pretend like I'm leaving. That's my first approach. But if you need to kind of like wiggle into an area where they're not listening to you, like the other day, actually, Wolfie was watering some plants, and he was getting the water everywhere, and he was on a roll, though, and he was going to the next plant, and I wanted to show him how to water the plant before he got the water everywhere, but I could tell that he was so determined to keep on watering. So I said, Wolfie, the way you're watering right now, I have an idea about how to help you. So keep on watering the way you're doing it for 1 or 2 more plants, which really what I wanted to do is be like, stop spilling water everywhere. Right. But you keep on doing that for the 2 plants, and then I'll show you a different way.
I'm not even lying. I had this exact conversation with my husband. And we got into a huge fight. And he's like, can you just let me do anything? Because he was gardening, and he was just like, this is too high. And he just came at it with scissors. And I was like, wait, there's a way to do it. Can I show you?
This is what you got to say. You keep on cutting it all crazy like that.
You get 2 more plants.
2 more plants. And then I've got a really cool idea to show you.
Oh my God, that would have worked.
No, because
he got so mad.
I do have to say, like, I think the kids don't have a lot of control. And so when they lock into something that's giving them control, like a tantrum, or having a different idea than what you said that you were supposed to be doing, it's really rewarding for them. And so honoring that feeling while pitching ahead to the different thing, I think is a pretty good little mind trick. Look, at Good Enough, we're all about mind tricks. And we tricked you into listening to another episode. I do believe we're approaching the end, and this is how I've chosen to celebrate it.
How are you celebrating?
Just sort of, I just kind of like went from talking into a robot.
Well, listen, Riki, you are so smart. You're such a great mom.
Thanks.
We're so
And I love
thankful.
to talk to you about your.
I know. I'm sorry
Yeah.
that you had a similar experience.
I'm sorry too, but I was thinking about when you said like, I wish, of course you wish that you would save the time, the money, the grief. I do think that the only treasure on the other side of any kind of grief that you suffer is that in hindsight, you're like, what I feel is like you have this wisdom of like, A, that you can withstand it.
Yep.
You can do a really tough thing and make it through. And B, it does kind of, now when I have anxiety about like a job not happening or what's things that are up in the air that I really wish I knew the answer to, because I am that kind of person that wants control and I want to know. It really is this big enlightening experience to go through something where like the stakes could not have been higher and you could never have known how it would have ended.
And I'm so happy with how I'm like happy that it worked out when it did, the way it did.
It
the
would
person
only
did.
be
Yeah.
him if it was that exact time.
Yep.
And so there's something, especially for, I'm not religious either, but there's something about like trusting the universe in that.
Yeah, there's like an assignment. Like
Yeah.
that, like that's your lifetime assignment. And like
Yeah.
it's like it's weird. Yeah, there's something divine about it.
We understand the assignment.
Yes.
Well, thank you, Riki.
Thank you for having me.